was working full time at the time, and then Nathan then was also then got a job for another company, and he was working full time, and then we kind of just went with it. But we knew very early on, as an individual, me as an individual at the time, I knew that business was something that I wanted to get into. Likewise for you.
Me, I wanted freedom.
he wanted freedom.
I wanted to do what I want, when I want, how I want.
I think that was a big thing for me. I
don't want to conform to standard laws. Let's say you have to be awake at 8 and leave at 5.
Makes sense.
For me, that it doesn't sit well. That doesn't sit well with me. So, but at the time, there was a need to work. We needed to earn a living.
Yeah.
So that is what was there.
Exactly. So, as I was saying, he went on to work full time for another organization. I was still working for another organization as well. So life kind of like took over, and then we just did what we needed to do at the time. So another project presented itself to us. Do you remember? We were gonna start another business together. We tried to go into that, and again, I just think at the time it just wasn't the right time. It just wasn't the right time. So
there was no business maturity.
There was no business maturity whatsoever. We just wanted, I just wanted, to do something, And then, sorry about that. And then a couple of years went by, and then I started a little something on my side. I started this clothing thing that I was doing. I was sourcing clothes from basically everywhere within the country, outside the country, wherever I could get it. I was reselling them online. It was alright, but it wasn't sustainable. It didn't bring me the kind of income that I wanted. So I ended up letting go of that, and then I don't know, it just didn't feel right. I did it, but I wasn't that much into it. It was great as a side hustle, but I didn't see it growing into what I needed it to be. And I didn't invest much into it, probably because I didn't feel or think that it was gonna go anywhere. My mind wasn't really in it. And then I started something else again, and eventually this idea came into play. At the time, the company that I was working for ended up shutting down, and I went to work for another company, and then I left that company again, and then I went to another company. So for that previous company that I worked for about 10 years, right? And I was happy there. I was really happy there. I was comfortable. Yeah, you're right. I wasn't happy per se, but I was comfortable because I was happy with somebody else giving me a paycheck. It was giving me a paycheck at the end of the month, because then I could afford to do everything that I wanted to do. My family was fed, taken care of.
You're basically selling your time.
I was basically selling my time, and I was selling my time well at the time.
For 12 times a year.
For 12 times a year. And the 13th check. Oh, the glorious 13th check. I was comfortable. I wouldn't say I was unhappy. I wouldn't say that I was unhappy per se, but I was comfortable. So then when that company closed down, I hopped from another company to another, and I couldn't find a home. Basically, I wanted that same comfort that I had with the first organization, and when I searching, what can I do, and what was important to me when I was doing my research was that, number one, I didn't want a side hustle. You know, a side hustle is different from having an actual business. I wanted
We're looking for something
sustainable, you know,
something that can leave a legacy,
you know, something
you would
to build, something we could have and build in a long run. I didn't want. I've had side hustles before. I've done all these small things before, but I wanted something that gave me that rush.
Hence, if you look at the name, we didn't go with a personalized name. That if that person is not there anymore, that thing is not there.
Exactly.
You understand?
So, you guys, this was very impromptu. We didn't plan this. We don't have the right equipment for this. I just thought of the idea, since we're going to be driving for a while, why not do this? So, long story short, then we found, me coming from a service-based business, I thought service-based, instead of having a product, I thought service-based was would work better than having a project, because you would, investment wise, when you're providing a service, you invest less than you would have to invest if you are selling, depending on the product, of course. So we decided to go the service route, and I had more experience within the service industry, even though at the time I was working in a completely different kind of service altogether. You were also in a service-based, we were both in a service-based, but you were both service and product. So then we decided, okay, fine. At first, when the idea came, because we were used to the old business kind of standards, that you needed to have, you know, a shitload of money for you to start a business. We always had that idea that we needed a lot of money, but. And then I remember I saw this YouTube video of a woman who started a multi-million-dollar company with no money. I'll put the link to the video below, and she inspired me, you guys. She started a hair care line with $100. She was working as a waitress at the time. She went and she earned $100, which she invested to make her product, which later became a multi-million-dollar company. So I was literally inspired that, okay, so I may not need this millions or thousands and thousands of dollars or rands to start a business. So I started looking into the kinds of business I could start with little to no money. At the same time, I didn't want a side hustle. That was very important to me. If I was going to go into business, it needed to be something that was going to be sustainable, something that I could work on full time, that could provide me a full-time salary for myself and my family, and I didn't need to work for somebody else, because for the longest time we worked contradicting hours. Is contradicting the right word? Okay, basically what I'm trying to say is, when he was working, I was off. When I was working, he was off. So the only times that we got to see each other were after hours for 1 or 2 hours every day, and then we'd start the cycle again. So we were tired of this kind of life where, there we go, we're turning again. You guys, bear with us. And then we were basically tired of not spending time together. So we wanted that freedom of having enough time together, but also, you know, earning a living. So when I got the idea, I went to Nathan. I was like, Nathan, I have this idea. What do you think? And then he's like, oh, you know, if to start this kind of a business, we needed this much money, and I don't think it's a good idea to start something without putting money into it, whatever. And then I was a little bit discouraged at the time. I was a little bit, what is going on? Some messages coming through there. So I went, you know what, let me just do that. Okay, that's better. So then what then happened was I went back and then I just started literally just not pretending as such, but I just started putting work into it. And then once everything, I got the website going, I got the social media pages going, everything that I could do with barely putting money into it, I was doing. And then I went back to Nathan and I was showing him and I was like, babe, I really think we can do this. And then he was like, oh, do you remember what you said? And then he basically was like, okay, you know what? We can do this thing without changing, because we were working on something at the time, and we didn't wanna divert our plans. And then he was like, okay, fine. If you really believe that we can do this, let's go ahead and do it. On one condition, we don't divert our plans that we were doing at the time. So we went ahead and registered the business, set everything into place, and then we started investing time. So I would work on it after hours. Like I would literally come to bed at 2. Remember we had a fight about that, about me coming to bed late, because I was literally putting hours into this thing and hoping that, because I was that passionate and that into it. So we started investing time, and then we started investing time in it, and then eventually we got our first client. Come on. Oh, he's busy on his cell phone, work stuff. So we got our first client. I think her name was Valerie or something. They were, can you close the windows? It's gonna be, the traffic is gonna be loud. So come on, jump, hop in.
Yeah. Somewhere in Pretoria, they got some 600-700 odd rand.
Wasn't it like 800 rand?
700 rand. And then from there,
we were inspired. We were like, okay, so we really started this thing with no money. Okay, so I really think we can do this.
We didn't reinvest all that money.
We spent it all. We spent all that money. So then we were actually inspired that, okay, this thing could actually be something. And then that's when we really started putting time and effort into it. And then 3, 4, how many years has it been now? So we started in 2017, now it's 2022. 17, 18, 19, 20, 22. 5 years later, we're still in it, and it's still, now it's starting to actually realize, like it's manifesting into something bigger than we thought it could be.
Going into some places we never dreamed of going to.
Yeah.
Getting some emails, some calls from people we never thought we would
get calls from. Remember when people thought we were crazy?
Getting into buildings we only saw driving past by. Getting into those buildings, we're talking to those people, we're getting on the table. We're having meetings with people.
But it hasn't always been this great.
Been rosy.
Because after that, when
COVID hit,
it was terrible.
We didn't get work for like 4 or 5
we didn't
months.
get work for months. We literally had to shut down a little bit. We literally shut down. Like during COVID, we literally shut down completely.
It was 2020.
It was 2020.
2020 March to about August. It wasn't so good.
It wasn't so good.
We did get 1 or 2 things, but it wasn't sustainable.
Yeah.
But in 2021, 2022, it's been great. Especially 2021, that was the growth, that was the boom.
Yeah.
And we're still rising.
And there was a time when we fully committed. We were like, okay, so we're gonna do this thing. At first we were doing it as kind of like almost like a side hustle, where we would do this thing on our free time and whatever, we'd squeeze it in whenever we could. And then eventually we decided to go all in. And then we were working on it full time, like it was like our full-time job. I think that was the hardest transition, because we thought it was gonna be easy peasy, you know, walk in the park. Maybe we work 2-3 hours a day, and then afterwards maybe we brunch. But nobody really shares what really goes on behind the scenes. There are no off days.
No off days. Sunday
For starters,
Sunday.
It's no off days. It's just get up and go. And
Calls early in the morning, long drives. You drive up.
late
and
nights. Sometimes we are working while everybody's sleeping. We are busy working, because during the day we are through projects, you know, meetings and whatever, and then at night we do the administrative part of the business. We are doing accounting, we are doing quotations, invoices, and all of that. Sometimes some days are better than others, just, you know, some days are worse, but yeah, we try to do, we literally just going with the flow at this point. And yeah,
we've been blessed. We've met some good people.
yeah, we've met some good people, good clients who've mentioned us in places, in rooms, and it's going okay.
Just maybe to mention a few. Marcus.
Oh yeah, the Phillips, good people. They are like literally they are my personal favorite clients. And yeah, so I just to answer a few questions that we get asked. So because we wake up together, we live together, go to bed together, wake up together, work together, and come back home together. We've been doing it for how many years now?
5 years. Yeah.
For 5 years now. And people always ask us, don't you guys ever get sick of each other? The answer is no.
No, some days are good, some days are not so good.
Yeah, we don't get along like all the time. We also fight like regular couples
But
or
we try
whatever.
to keep it in house.
Yeah, we try.
We don't show it. You know, it doesn't affect the business. Per se.
It doesn't. We really try to separate
Respect each other.
the personal life and the business life. So basically we will have a fight at home, but once we walk through the office doors, or
A united front.
we are a united front. Like we never show our clients or whatever whenever we're having disagreements or whatever. And even when we do have disagreements within the business, we try not to take it personal, and always look at it like on a business point of view. And we try to make decisions based off of what's best for the business, other than what's best for us individually. But even though sometimes the decisions that we make for the business end up affecting our personal life, so sometimes it is hard to, you know, distinguish the two. There is a thin line between our personal life and business, but we try as much to, you know, to separate the two. And the other thing that we try to do, before we didn't have the liberty of saying, oh, we can't work after hours or whatever, but now we try to say, okay, fine, between 7 and 5 we are working for the business, and then after 5 we close our laptops and we try to have some personal family time.
Barely though, because the phone is gonna ring.
Barely though, because the phone is gonna ring. Some client is gonna need that, some client is gonna need this, but for the most part we do try to have that separation,
That illusion
of downtime, which is usually between 5 till again 6, 7 again the next morning,
6.
maybe 6.
5 a.m. But yeah, it's good. It's great. It's fantastic. We're blessed. We thank God. We keep pushing.
We do.
Realize our dreams and yeah, it's been an interesting journey.
It has been. It has been. Well, what advice would you give to somebody who's looking to start something?
Don't give up. Keep going.
I
Don't
think
give up. Keep going.
keep going.
But things won't be as easy as you think.
No, I think my advice to somebody is don't expect it to be smooth sailing.
Put in the hours. Put in the work.
Put in the
commitments.
hours, put in the work, commit.
Commit.
'Cause
And pray.
It's easy for you to leave something when something gets tough. It's easy for you to be like, oh,
Trust you me, it will get tough.
oh,
Bills will need to be paid.
yeah.
Houses, apartments, whatever, they'll get closed down.
We've had downtime. We've had times that we wished we had jobs. We were like, okay, this is getting ridiculous. Maybe we took the wrong route. Maybe we should start looking for jobs. But we plowed through it because we decided we were a lot happier working together than not having time for each other. Because now, even though
Turn down a few opportunities.
yeah,
You might think if I maybe gotten through this opportunity, probably things would have been a bit different.
yeah,
Probably
oh
instead
yeah,
of one egg, I would have 2 eggs.
2 eggs.
It's fine. Now you have the whole crate.
Exactly. At the time, you got a job offer, and he came to me. He's like, babe, I got this job offer, and it was in a whole different state. We had to literally move our whole family to another part of the country where we didn't have any family at all. And we thought about it. Was very tempting because at the time the business wasn't making. We were barely making it at that time, but we felt we were onto something. We felt we were onto something.
The feeling was there.
The feeling was there, and we were happy doing what we were doing. To be honest, at that time, it was more of we were happy doing what we were doing at the time. So then we got an offer. The money was good. He got an offer. The money was good. The business wasn't making that much money at the time. We sat on it for like a month, deciding because we had to choose. It was either stay and build this or leave, go to another state or whatever and go start a whole new life there completely. And then we were torn because the money was good, but we decided to stay.
Stay we did.
And stay we did, and struggle we did. The staying came at a cost. But now, we always, it's a little inside joke that we always say.
Look at me now.
Yeah. Kwak said. So yeah, we love what we do basically because it allows us to spend more time with each other. It allows us to, no wonder why they are so loud, because they are so low.
Though we don't get to miss each other.
No.
Get home to somebody you miss the whole day.
No.
But
Red. It happens sometimes when we get conflicting schedules, like we have 2 projects maybe running on the same day, and then we have to share, like, okay, so you go handle that and I go handle this, and then we have to do that. But very rarely do we get those kind of. So usually when you see him, you see me. When you see me, you see him. Okay, that's a wrap. So we just got to where we're going. Thank you guys for watching. We'll be making more of this. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. You know what? Put questions in the comment section, and then the next time we do a video, then maybe we can answer some of those questions, or we can do a video based off the questions